Get the doctor's referral to receive vertical mouse. Sure thing HR. I'm not an English native speaker, so my apologies for any mistakes. I worked for a large multinational company some years back in the logistics industry, and I did a lot of my work on the computer. Due to that, I developed a small infection in some small joint in my wrist due to using the normal mouse provided by IT. I asked my boss if I could order a vertical mouse to relieve the pain in my wrist, and I was thinking company would provide it. My boss referred me to our local HR. From hell. Manager of the hour was called. Behind her back. Grim Reaper, and she surely lived up to the nickname. Got a message from HR that the only way to get another kind of mouse is to go through company mandated healthcare provider and to get a referral from there. Thought it was stupid because vertical mouses costs like €2,050 and going to healthcare would surely add costs to that. But let's do what the HR tells you. Since they know better, and obviously don't care about money, I'll add the costs of everything to prove my point. Cue malicious compliance and made the reservation to meet our doctor. €200. She ordered some X-rays. €300. And send me to get instructions and training exercises from company's dedicated physiotherapist. €3,100. Went back to the doctor on a separate meeting. Another €200. And she forwarded me to some hand surgeon. €450. For another opinion. Hand surgeon was kind enough to inject some cortisone. €100. To my aching wrist and gave me 1 day sick leave. €300. To recuperate from the injection. Spent that fishing and enjoying the nice summer weather. After going through all the hoops to get the referral for the mouse. It took HR about 2 months to instruct IT to deliver me the mouse. The cortisone actually helped, and I didn't have any use for the vertical mouse. Otherwise I would have ordered it myself. I just used the 2 months to remind my boss about the mouse on regular basis and asked him to contact HR about it. It took close to €2,000 to go through HR mandated route to get the relatively cheap mouse. But hey, everything has to be done by the book, right? Here's the kicker. Immediately after I received the mouse, I gave my 2 weeks notice. My resignation and the mouse were totally unrelated. But I sure made HR and my boss to think that it was all about the mouse. I was one of the most valued employees in our company. So me leaving sure did sting them a bit. It never fails to amaze me how stupid big corporations are when it comes to providing employees with necessary tools to ease their job. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is malicious compliance done right. Completely agree that this is crazy. But unfortunately large companies get sued for not providing a suitable environment or one that causes problems, so a 2 or 3K bill will cover their ass in the future. The doctors and all the tests shows they went above and beyond. So it's clear they did everything in their power to not cause any further damage to your wrist. This process is there for those 0.001% of employees who want to take advantage of a situation. My company also wanted a doctor's note. Otherwise everybody would want to choose their own mouse or keyboard rather than choosing from the 2 options we have in-house as standard. I can see the argument that €2,000 is a trivial expense so long as it does not go to the employee. Of course. But this also delayed the needed help for a couple of months. Don't take this the wrong way. But you mentioned that the injection worked and you didn't need the mouse. So why didn't you see your doctor in the first place? That's what I would have done before anything else. My wife once told me that she had a coworker in her kindergarten who had spinal problems, disc prolapse, and requested a pillow to sit, which would have costed about €20. We live in Germany. Her employer denied the request since this pillow was only meant to be for office workers. Kindergarten does not count as an office. And the pillow also was not TÜV geprüft, TÜV certified, to be used in a kindergarten. Hazard for the children. The employer sat there in denial until she suffered another disc prolapse during work. Fortunately, she documented everything. So now her employer is now reliable to pay for an even more expensive equipment for her working hours and also for her treatment. Nice malicious compliance. But I do want to address the vertical mouse. I got one. Trust GX144. Cause I was curious and I kept getting wrist pains from normal gaming mice, and honestly, I can't imagine going back to a regular mouse again. Ever. Such a life changer. I'm honestly shocked companies in general aren't investing in ergonomics as much as emo they should be. Every single American reading this is making small whimpering noises at your medical costs. Over here, it would be 10 times as much. HR Hell representative. But the price of the mouse came from the HR manager's own pocket ego, whereas the other costs were paid by the company. As a safety officer, the reason we have you go through all the hoops is because every single employee will see that someone has a super cool piece of equipment and they will want one because it's neat. This will spread like wildfire around the biggest office nationally, sometimes causing companies to purchase thousands of stand-up desks, vertical mouses, ergo keyboards, yoga balls, etc. And when the fad is over, those things just sit around unused until they are disposed of. Then someone starts the whole thing with the next fad piece of equipment. So it's not HR or your company that screws with the needs of the handicapped or ergonomically challenged, it is your fellow employees. So, in my opinion, the company did what they were supposed to do by ensuring you had a medical necessity, had medical care to avoid workers' compensation, had treatment, and had the needed equipment to help alleviate your condition. That it cost €2,000 is cheap compared to a WC claim or lawsuit for not doing those things and causing permanent physical damage to an EE. Op wrote, in part spent that fishing. So the important questions are: 1. Did you catch any fish, and if so, 2. How big were the fish? This sounds like you fundamentally misunderstand how companies work. €2,000. Is the E for euros? Is not even a rounding error in their books at the end of the year. But the potential legal ramifications if they don't go through all those hoops and jumps would be much more expensive. So they shell out a few K and deal with it. Nothing weird or wrong with that. Which model mouse did you get? I have the Evoluent vertical mouse. Medium size left-handed. And it made for an incredible difference. One of my colleagues used the Anir vertical mouse. She liked it very much. But I could never get used to it.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Aircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.